body Gani, which means what's the good news? The good news for today is Ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. It also means to build and maintain our communities and make our brothers and sisters' problems our own problems and to solve them together. What we really want to understand and highlight here is that collectively, when we come together and we just don't think about ourselves, we don't just think about our immediate situations, but we begin to look at ourselves in the context of community. What can we give? A person may have bread, another person may have meat, another person may have water, but bringing all of those resources together, guess what? We're connected and we're not wanting for anything. And so I think that this principle is so important when we look at in our lives what we need to do as a family, as a community, as a nation, as a race, which we'll talk about later in Kwanzaa, as those things that we could do to improve the things around us. First of all, we have to start with ourselves. We improve ourselves by the things that we do daily. A change in our mindsets transforms our situations. So y'all, when you're looking at Kwanzaa, this is principles. These are principles that we can interact with and implement every single day of our lives. And so I would just want to encourage you today, no matter what's going on, no matter what you have going on right now, let me be clear about the situation, y'all. We can improve everything that's going on around us by simply changing our habits, changing the way that we think, changing our paradigm, changing ourselves so that we impact the community around us. And guess what? It's a ripple effect. So it's like a rock dropping in water. Everything around it has to change because of the change that the rock has caused. And so we see that same butterfly effect with a butterfly's wings on the side of the ocean. And I know this is not making sense to a lot of people, but understand this. It only takes one person to cause change. That change is so infectious that it'll create change within nations and within countries and communities across the world. Think about Martin Luther King. Think about Malcolm X. Think about Mahatma Gandhi. Think about Nat Turner. Think about all of these people who were revolutionary. They started, first of all, with their minds. And I would be remiss to not think of Harriet Tubman or somebody like Maxine Waters or somebody like Shirley Chisholm, like all of those people who started off with things in their mind, things that they wanted to change within their families and their communities, and then they spread it out throughout the world. And so they had effects on the whole world. And so we start with ourselves, we start collaborating instead of competing once again. And then we begin to do what? Build our communities, build sustainable resources, build things that are going to last throughout not only our lives, but our children's lives. Okay? So when you think of this principle, y'all, we need to be implementing this thing 365, 366 on the leap year, and definitely just looking at it in a sense of something that's not just a seasonal thing. Okay? Remember that. Have a phenomenal free weekend. Have a phenomenal day. Y'all just be encouraged, all right? Remember to share, subscribe, like. Have a phenomenal.